Welcome to the another unit of learning basic physics skills. And in this unit, we'll learn how to use Newton's laws or dynamics when object is moving in an incline. So let's start with one example. Here, the rescue team uses a supply sled with a total mass of this much to transport medical kits down a snowy mountain slope inclined at 25 degrees. So what's happening here? Let's sketch the situation. So basically we need to draw a free body diagram to find the acceleration, and later it's also asking us to find time it takes to arrive to that much down. Even if it did not ask us to find acceleration, we should be able to tell we need acceleration because displacement is given, and assuming that you launch sled with zero velocity, what happens? You need initial velocity and then acceleration and displacement to find the time interval. Okay, so to solve this part of the problem, we need to use kinematics. Here, to solve this part of the problem, we need to use dynamics. So let's start by finding the acceleration. So to use dynamics, we need to draw a free body diagram. So this is at inclined plane. So to represent inclined plane, to mimic inclined plane, I draw this dashed line. And the problem says, okay, it's making an angle. We represent that angle by theta, no matter what the value of that angle is. In this case, the angle is 25 degree. It is in 3 sig fig, and mass is given, total mass, including medicine and the sled itself. So 55 kilogram. And the friction coefficient is given. So although it is in the snow, there is friction. If it was ice, probably the friction would be negligible, but snow, they still have some friction. So 0.15, and friction coefficient doesn't have any unit. So those are the things we know. We need to draw free body diagram. So let's suppose at some moment the sled is somewhere there. So we are representing object of interest in this case by this dot, and weight is always vertically down, and it is being supported by that incline. There is normal force, and normal force is always normal to the supporting surface or pushing surface. And there is friction coefficient, means there is going to be friction force, and friction force, since it is sliding, it is kinetic friction force, and it is uphill because the sled is going downhill. So the acceleration, whatever it is, must be along this downhill. So now this is our free body diagram. So we need to choose coordinate here. So how do we choose coordinate? So it's always a good idea to choose one coordinate along the direction of acceleration, and acceleration is taking place along the incline. So let's say this is x, and I can say, okay, down as a positive, down along the incline as a positive. That means the y is going to be perpendicular to that, and let's say this is positive y. Okay, so now looking at this, we can tell normal force is lined up along the y-axis of our choice, and friction force is lined up along the x-axis of our choice. However, the weight is neither along the x or y. So that tells us that we need to write its component so that we can write Newton's law along the x and y direction separately as needed. Okay? So to find component, we need angle made by mg with either x-axis or y-axis. In this case, this is the angle made by incline with the x-axis, and in this case that angle happens to be equal to the angle made by weight with the y-axis. Since these two angles most likely not going to be equal, so what could be equal? This one is. And we can prove that using geometry, but here that's not our goal. So it's a good idea to remember that this angle is always going to be equal to angle between y-axis and the mg. And you can tell if this angle becomes 0, means if this thing is flat, then the angle between this y-axis and mg also going to be 0, because y is going to be vertical in that case, and that makes sense. Okay, that is kind of analytical proof, if you may. Now we need to write component of mg. So the angle is on the side of y-axis, so that means the y-axis is the adjacent side. So the component in that direction is the mg cosine theta, because adjacent picks up cosine. And then component along the y direction is going to be here. So you can think of like going something like this along the plane. But we want to draw from the object, so that's why we don't draw it here, rather there. And this is mg sine theta. Once we have written the mg, or the weight, in terms of its components, we can now neglect the weight. What force is making it to accelerate? Is the component of the weight along the incline, that is mg sine theta. So Fk is trying to stop it, friction force is trying to slow it down, but mg sine theta is making it accelerate. Okay, so now let's write the equation. Acceleration is along the plane, so that means we want to use Newton's law along the x direction, so that the acceleration gonna be in our equation. Okay, so direction we already figured it out, is going to be down along the hill, and value of acceleration I am assuming a, so that means we want to find a. What is a? So for this we are writing equation along the incline, so that means along the x direction. So sum of forces along that direction is mass times acceleration in that direction. This is just a Newton's law formula. Sum of forces, there are two forces along the incline. Mg sine theta is pointing down along the incline, and we chose down along the incline as a positive. So that means mg sine theta is positive, and then Fk is pointing opposite of that, means it's negative. So that's the sum of forces along the x direction. There are only two forces along the x direction. Now we need to move to the other side. So mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration. Acceleration is pointing downhill, so this is positive. So now we don't know the friction force, rather we know the friction coefficient. So that means we need to convert this equation in terms of friction coefficient by using the fact that friction force is always friction coefficient times normal. And by the way, the friction force in this case is kinetic friction force, because object is sliding, it's not just trying to slide. Okay, and that is equal to m times a. So we want to find acceleration, and we need normal force. Okay, so need normal force. Okay, n. So we need that. normal force is lined up along the y-axis. So that means we want to use Newton's second law in that direction. Mass times acceleration, but object is not accelerating in the y direction. It is only accelerating in x direction. So acceleration does not have component along the y direction, means acceleration is going to be 0. In other words, the object is in equilibrium along the y direction. So sum of forces, looking at this free body diagram, we see there are two forces along the y-axis. One is normal force, which is pointing along the positive y direction. Another one is cosine component of weight, which is pointing opposite. So that means normal force is positive and the cosine component of weight is negative. So that's the sum of forces. That's the left-hand side of this equation. So right-hand side is just 0. Okay, so now we can tell n is mg cosine theta. So now we can use that normal force over there. So let's copy that whole equation. mg sine theta and negative sign and mu k, and n is just we found, which is mg cosine theta is equal to mass times acceleration. So mass is everywhere, so mass is going to cancel, giving us simply g sine theta minus friction coefficient times g cosine theta as acceleration. So that is the acceleration. So it is just a matter of plugging in numbers. Okay, and numbers we have already listed, and g is still 9.8. So once we plug in these numbers here, we can find the acceleration or the value of acceleration, and that turns out to be how much? Rounded to 2 sig fig, it is 2.8 meter per second. But since we are going for the time interval as well, remember second part of this problem, what I'm going to do is I'll write that, and then if we are just asked for the acceleration, this would be the answer. But to further use this in another equation, we're going to keep one more sig fig and then what's in the problem. So now second part is find time interval. Okay, so to find time interval, see in the dynamics there is no time in the equation, so that means we need to go back to kinematic equation. Right, so to use kinematic equation, we want to draw the sketch of the situation. So we need initial, so where you start letting it slide, and then the final point where it reaches to the destination. So that destination going to be displacement. Okay, we can use the same coordinate system we used to find the acceleration, and that acceleration is along the x direction, right? So this is positive x. That means acceleration in the x direction is what we just found, 2.1 meter per second. And since we are choosing down as a positive, we can write that as a positive. We are letting the sled slide because the problem doesn't say it was pushed with certain speed. So we can assume the initial velocity in that direction is 0. And the acceleration we already found. And displacement, it says 25 meter or 26 meters. This part of the problem we are solving now. So that is 26 meters, and since the downhill is positive, object is sliding downhill, so it's going to be positive. Okay, and we are asked to find time interval. See if we can find an equation that relates all these four things, so that we can just use that equation. And turns out there is that equation. Displacement is Vix times time interval plus half acceleration in that direction times time interval is squared. So initial velocity is 0, means this thing gonna be 0. I like to plug in zeros as soon as I can. That way problem becomes simpler. So we are solving for time. So this is not quadratic in time. That is good. Yeah, it is technically still quadratic, but we don't need to use quadratic equation. So to solve for time, we bring 2 this side, becomes 2 times delta x, and the acceleration goes downhill. So that gives us t squared. So t gonna be positive or negative of this, and since time is never negative, we just use the positive solution. That's gonna be this. So we plug in these numbers and round it to 2 sig pig, and we get answer as 4.3 seconds. So 4.3 seconds, it's accelerating downhill in the snow. So yeah, it may seem like very short time, but it's just 26 meters downhill. Okay, so it makes sense. But you always want to double check these numbers by plugging in carefully. I might be wrong. Okay. Happy learning physics.